All right, testing, testing. Does this sound like crap? Testing, testing, testing. Does this sound like crap? Testing. And that sounded okay. I'm still showing a bunch of dropped frames, but maybe maybe this will work. Well, you guys just let me know if it's like unlistenable, and if it's unlistenable, then we'll just have to cancel it, I guess. We could do Q&A and Blockcircle, and then I can record a video. But I'm still showing 40% drop frames. Drop frames. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, 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 testing. I'm not hearing it cut out at all. So we'll just have to play it by ear. My audio is going to be off, so I won't be able to tell if it happens. So I'll try to keep up with chat, and if it does cut out, I guess we'll just have to wrap it up. Maybe I'll try again in a couple hours if it doesn't work, and then if that doesn't work, maybe we'll just try again tomorrow. But let's just get into stuff while it's working. I'm gonna try and be hyper efficient. Let's hold off questions on shitcoins for now. Let's focus on Bitcoin so I can just get through that. So I can at least have a VOD go up where we talk about Bitcoin and get a full analysis. And then if we can make it through that, no problems, we can talk some shitcoins before we go to the Blockcircle stream. Okay, let me listen one more time. We can talk some shitcoin. I mean, sounds okay. I don't know what's going on though. It's 50% drop frames is crazy. But anyways, let's see what we're working with. So pretty big change on BTC. The big thing we got in the last week since our previous stream is the monthly close, and we've got a very clear cycle down on our slow stochastic, and we don't have a negative drop in momentum, but we definitely have a solid flat line. So positive things going on in the monthly. We have this really nice BCI setup, right, where we had this bearish candle that tried to take out our previous uptrend, and then we had a bullish candle that completely invalidated it. Unfortunately, we barely got any follow through the next the next month, making like a $200 higher high, and we've since retraced about half that move. So maybe we come in and we make a higher low in here, right in front of the 8 EMA on the monthly, which is our other positive sign that the 8 EMA is rising, and we're still trending above it. So all hope is not lost by any means, but the monthly cycle down is a bit of a rough sign. You know, pretty much every time that has happened in Bitcoin's history, we've had a bit of a deep pullback, right? It's not always going to be, you know, a COVID crash when that happens, but, you know, you could definitely see something like TradingView chip. Man, I miss when TradingView had the long price settings at the bottom. I don't know why they moved things around, but you could definitely see like a 10 to 15% pullback, I think, on BTC, and that would be plenty reasonable. Recession, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not really like a macro expert, right? Like if I was to say, yeah, I don't think we're going into a recession, it wouldn't really be based off actual factors that determine that stuff, you know, like how bond rates look, and how like inflation looks, and, you know, 10-year yield and this and that. Like I just don't pay close attention to that stuff. So I don't feel like it really makes sense for me to seriously comment on whether or not I think we're going into a recession. I don't think we're going into a recession personally, but, you know, it's like I don't really have a lot of. It's gone. No. I think we're going into a recession. I don't think we're going into that sounds fine. So yeah, I don't think we're going into a recession, but it's just not really based on any facts. So I don't know. You're better off asking Basil, but if you ask Basil, he's gonna say, hell yeah, I think we're going into a recession. So maybe we are. I don't really know, but for now, the outlook looks pretty good for crypto. The fundamental outlook going into next year with the potential for an ETF approval, with the Bitcoin halving coming up, I think things look pretty good. So I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to trade, assuming that it's going to go well. Okay, that's my game plan, so I'm going to stick to it. is TIG supply fully vested now that July is over? I don't think the full supply is out. No, because the circulating market cap is 7 million and fully diluted is 12. So I don't know. It probably takes years though. I think it's like 2 years or something for the rest of the supply to come out. So I don't think it's something to really worry about. And even then, 12 million fully diluted is just really not that much for a project like this. When its main competitor, GMX, is like hundreds of millions, I just don't think it's really that big of a deal. But right now, no, it's like 70 or 65% fully diluted, something like that. No, CoinMarketCap's got it wrong. CoinMarketCap's got it wrong. I think it's 1 million coins out right now, something like that. And then I think there's 2 million total. So it might be more than 1 million. It might be like 1.1 or 1.2 million out right now. I can't really remember. Did my stream just cut out completely? No, I don't know. I'm trying to watch my stream and test it, but it's not working. No, not 12 million coins, $12 million fully diluted. And right now it's $7 million market cap. So I guess that comes out to like 1.1. Oh, you can see here, calculated based on self-reporting circulating supply of 1.1 million, and fully diluted is 2 million. Good morning, Ethan. Good to see you, brother. I've had some stream problems, so help keep me posted on if that's still working. But yeah, around 1.1 million coins. But anyways, back to BTC. Like I said, let's hold off on the shitcoin questions and make sure that we can get through the Bitcoin analysis. Do I think market cap will get to 50 mil during bull? I think it'll get way past that during the bull run. But anyways, I'd say we're about neutral on BTC as far as overall outlook goes. Trending above the 8 EMA is positive. Trending above our previous candle setup is positive. Monthly cycle down is negative. Failing to break old support is negative. And momentum flatlining is pretty negative. So I'd say neutral, slightly bearish even on Bitcoin for now, at least on the monthly. And then when you get down to the weekly, it's kind of the same story, right? We had a higher high in price, lower high on our stochastic, lower high momentum. So the full bearish divergence playing out. We're also potentially losing our 8 EMA on the weekly. And you can see that that has now curled over. Where's the hide button? Here we go. You can see now the 8 EMA has flatlined on the weekly. And now it's kind of starting to come down a little bit like it was back in May. And we've also started to break below it a little bit. No closes below it. Well, this kind of closed a little bit below it, I guess. So maybe that was the first, sign that we're rolling over a little bit. But much like the monthly, cycle and momentum are coming down. We're kind of making lower highs on the daily, right? As opposed to our previous higher high, higher low pattern. Now we're getting lower lows and lower highs. And, previously it was like, every dip, you get this full retrace, dip, full retrace, dip, full retrace, dip, full retrace, make new highs. But now we're kind of switching back to what we had from like April to June, where you get a dip, it pumps, and then it fully retraces. It pumps, fully retraces, pump, fully retrace, pump, fully retrace, pump, fully retrace, over and over and over. And now we're getting that same thing. We get a pump, it fully retraces. We get a pump, retrace, pump, retrace, pump, retrace, pump, retrace, over and over and over. So it's starting to seem like there's just no strength from BTC right now. Maybe it's just, some really good fake out, and it's going to be a big gotcha moment when we rip back higher. But, think about it. We could get a candle like this and still be making lower highs in this kind of trend, right? Like if we just bar pattern this general outlook, you could get something all the way up to 30.5K and still make a lower high inside this kind of bigger picture channel, right? So really you're going to have to get to like above 31 and start to trend above it, right? If you can start doing that, maybe we're finally going to break out of this little downtrend here. But until then, Bitcoin's looking pretty rough. And when Bitcoin gets rough, the whole market tends to be rather risk off, you know. And that also lines up with US equities. Okay, so Bitcoin tends to follow US equities pretty closely. And honestly, lately it's been outperforming a little or underperforming a little bit a lot of the time. And so now stocks are kind of going through the same thing that BT is going through. We had a nice pump off the lows. Monthly cycle is getting high. Weekly cycle is rolling over. Right? We've got bearish divergence on the weekly, but the weekly has not broken the 8 EMA, at least for stocks. We do have a pretty nasty bearish engulfing, but yeah, it's not looking good, brevs. Maybe the daily just says screw it and makes another higher low and keeps going, and if that happens, then you know Bitcoin's probably going to be okay. But if equities start to make lower highs and we start to break the bands, we have not broken the bands since March for stocks. And at the same time, you've got the dollar making a potential bottoming pattern here. And that cycle is coming up versus the cycles on Bitcoin and stocks are just rolling over. So I personally am leaning towards a pump in the dollar, a bit of a dump in stocks, and a bit of a dump in Bitcoin. I outlined something like this a while back. I really don't know if we're going to get something as bad down to 20K, but I could definitely see like mid-20s, like 25, 26. I think that's pretty reasonable. So we're going to have to just kind of play it by ear and see what we can really get. My biggest goal is to be able to accumulate some more Ator in the coming months, and ideally below 50 cents, ideally below 40 cents, but we'll just have to see how deep we can really get it. But for now, I'm really not seeing the strength. We got monthly, weekly, and daily cycles all coming down. We've got lower highs and lower lows in the daily. The 4-hour is losing all of its moving average support, much like it did, like I said, back in May, when we were trying to make higher lows, and we flopped. Here we tried to make a higher low, tried to make a higher high, and now we're just kind of rolling over. We made like a tiny little higher high, but that's about it. You know, we couldn't get any momentum. And I'd say this is kind of the last real chance here. If we can break out of this little short-term downtrend and start to trend up and clear 31K, maybe we'll be okay. But for now, it's looking pretty grim. Okay, so I had previously bought some Unibot with my cash, like right around here. And I puked that today for a little loss, like a 0.5% loss. Just because my risk was down here and I was risking like 3.5%. And I just didn't really want to risk that much on something, especially when I already had some pretty hefty exposure to this. You know, I've still got like 10% of my account in Unibot, aside from what I had aped the other day. So I put that back in cash. Maybe that goes against me. Oh, hold on. I forgot to text my girlfriend back. I told her I was. My bad. Let me know how it's going. It's better now, but still not the best. She said it sounds good, but it lags occasionally. Man, that's such a shame. Are you guys getting any lag, or does it sound okay at least? Man, that's such a shame. Are you guys getting does it sound okay at least? It sounds like it's reasonably consistent, I guess. So I know she really wants to stream, so I hate that for her, but you know, it is what it is. Just keep me posted, guys, if it's still good or not. Because I'm just gonna be babbling, you know. But anyways, yeah. So I got a position in cash again, just because I really want to see if we can get Ator back down in the 40s, something like that. That would be really nice. I was previously like over here. I was hoping maybe I could get 30s, maybe even mid 20s, but I'm starting to feel like that's coping. And honestly, even at current market cap, even right here, I'd be pretty happy adding more exposure. But I'm going to be a little bit greedy and see if I can get it deeper. And if not, my exposure is good enough. You know, if we just rip out of here, it's fine. I'm still going to make good money. But I've been trying to get to a certain level of coins, and I'm not anywhere near it yet. So I've kind of lowered that target to about half of the original desired value, and that's what I'm really holding my cash out for. So, you know, we'll just have to see what we get. So honestly, I'm kind of hoping that Bitcoin dumps a bit. I mean, my cash stack relative to my whole portfolio is pretty small. I think I've got like 10 or 12% cash or something like that. It's not that big of a position, but you know, if I could put 5% of my account extra into Ator, I mean, you know, I'm expecting like a 20 to 50x out of that. That would make a big difference. So, you know, we'll just have to see what we get, but that's my game plan right now. Looking for BTC to nuke into the end of August, maybe into September, and then hopefully I can scoop some Ator for cheaper. If not, that's okay. I'll have some extra cash. I mean, there's always going to be more plays to be had, so, you know, it is what it is. We'll see how it goes. I'm just feeling a little iffy. You know, recent price action definitely has lost the oomph that it kind of had in June and July, and now it's just looking like, you know, who wants to trade this, right? Who wants to trade this? This is dog. There's no making money here except for scalpers, and I am not a scalper by any means. So I'm choosing to not touch BTC. Like some people were asking, there were some good questions in the chat today. Like, you know, what's the game plan for low caps? Are you gonna, you know, should we be cutting risk if it starts dumping? Should we cut Bitcoin if we have Bitcoin? And you know, guys, if you're with me and you tend to think that this is going to lead to a dump, I wouldn't wait to cut. I would just cut risk, and then, you know, if we get that pump, you're not going to get as good of an entry, of course. You know, if you have to buy higher, you have to buy higher. It is what it is. For me, I'm not really cutting majority of my low cap risk because most of this stuff, not only can I afford to lose it, but I really think I can sell most of it for a lot higher next year. You know, some of it's going to go to zero. Some of it's not going to perform that well. But the stuff that I hold on most of my size, I think is going to perform really well in the next 6, 12, even 18 months. So I'm really not trying to be short-sighted like, oh, yeah, I could get it maybe 30 to 50% cheaper. Maybe. But there's a good chance that I won't be able to get it that much cheaper. And if I do, I won't even be willing to shoot my shot if that happens anyways. So, you know, if you're feeling overexposed, that might be different. You might not want to play this the same way that I'm playing it. Okay? So, you know, you just have to have your own plan for things, guys. You know, I would not wait for this to decide to start cutting risk. You know, I get it. If this is like the big range low, range high, you don't want to cut your risk at the range low. I get it. But if we're forming a bigger picture range going into the end of the year, cutting risk here is not really that bad, right? So, you know, it just depends on how you think it's going to go. Right? Obviously, there's upsides and downsides to both. If this ends up bottoming out and you start adding on risk again, it rolls over, you know, you're gonna be chopping yourself up. You're going to be selling here, buying here, selling here, buying here. You don't want to do that. And I'm definitely prone to doing stuff like that. So instead of trying that, I'm just going to hold a lot of this stuff. I have enough cash that I'm comfortable with that if we nuke, or if we do something like this and we nuke later into September, I'll be happy I have the cash, and that cash will be enough for me. But for some people, you know, 10% of their portfolio in cash, 20% is not going to be enough. So you just got to figure out what is right for you. And, you know, what's going to help you to sleep at night. Like, I don't ever go to sleep right now feeling like I'm going to freak out if I wake up to anything. If I wake up, we're pumping, great. If I wake up, we're dumping, great. If I wake up and we're still chopping, great. You know, that's fine. Like, I feel well prepared for any kind of scenario that we're going to get. Okay, buddy. We'll get you some food soon. What are a few realistic bottom ranges for BTC if it turns over in the next few weeks? So I think a lot of that is going to depend on how hard of a pump we get on the dollar. And I've been thinking like a 50% retrace of this entire move down from 2022 makes sense, which would be about 107. For stocks, probably the same thing. I don't know if it'll get as bad. I mean, tech has just been so strong, but maybe like even just this like 30% retrace here. I mean, I don't even know if that's exactly 30. What is that like? It's only 10%, but 30% retrace of this move up for stocks, I think makes sense. And then for BTC, here's kind of the ranges I've been looking at. So the most ideal range would be like 25.5 to 26.5. This is the most ideal level to make a higher low, right? Anything below that is not going to be a higher low. You're going to have a lower low below our June low, and then things start to look pretty gross, right? Versus if we can make a higher low at like 26, 27, then this pattern continues. And not only does the long-term outlook look good, but the intermediate-term outlook would be really nice too. We could be doing some kind of ascending triangle or something. And that's exactly what we did back in 2016 leading into the halving, right? We never made this big like COVID-style black swan nuke. We just kept making higher lows, and we grinded and grinded. The halving came, we pumped hard into it, we dumped hard after it, we chopped for a couple months, and then we just started the up-only phase. Now, guys, we have to accept, too, this time might be different. We might not get the same old playbook that we have before. Keep in mind, every cycle, people say the same thing. Well, it might not be the same this time, and then it is. But it just might not. You have to accept some point in Bitcoin's lifetime, whether it's this cycle, next one, the next one, the next one, the next one, we will probably stop this whole trend where we pump right before halving, dump after it, and then have a full bull run. Like, it's probably just not... what's the word I'm looking for? Sustainable, right? Like, it's probably just not going to go that way every time. So maybe this time we only pump into the halving, and then maybe the actual post-halving is kind of weak. In the same light that we did a 100x in 2014, and then we did... 2014 was like a 200x, then it was a 100x, and then it was like a 15x. And so this time, maybe it's only a 5x off the lows. Maybe we don't even hit 100K. I don't really know. But my game plan is pretty much solidified at this point. Unless we get some drastic shift, my game plan is set. Whether we make a higher low at the ideal level, or whether we go deeper towards 20K, this would still be, on the monthly, a big picture higher low. Right? Something along the lines of this, right? Here's Bitcoin halving. Something like this would make plenty of sense. Even if it's not ideal in the near term, this would still be a very viable bottom for BTC. And that could go down to 20K, and just as quickly as you hit 20, you could hit 16. Or you could be, you could go from 20 back to 25 in a day. Right? It's really hard to call these things, and it's even harder to time them properly. And that's why I'm kind of comfortable just holding on to stuff that I really believe is going to be here in a year, whether we dump to 15K, 20K, or 25. Like, it doesn't really matter. I think stuff like Unibot, Tigris, Ator, Smardex, I think that stuff is still going to be here, even if Bitcoin dumps hard. Like, that stuff will dump hard with Bitcoin too, but as long as on a long enough time frame, if Bitcoin makes a higher low in here going into next year, and we move higher going into 2025, I'm pretty confident most of my big bags here that make up like, let's say, really like 50% of my account, I believe most of that is going to do well. And I think about it, as long as I can get a 2x from entry on that stuff, I make up for all the other losses that I might have. Okay, so the risk reward in my eyes is really clear. Okay, even if we just rally into halving and then roll over, even if we rally into halving and then roll over and then we get a full bull run, either way, I'm pretty sure the stuff I have now, I can sell higher a year from now, no problem. A lot of my stuff, again, the big positions, right? But stuff that I have 1% in, 0.5% in, 2% in, a lot of that stuff is not going to perform well. Will probably just fade into nothingness, right? Like one of our recent plays, OX1. I mean, look at this. You know, I shot my shot down here. I bought some, and then I bought some more. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You know, maybe it never recovers, and what do I lose? 1% of the account, 1.5%, something like that. You know, if Ator goes up 10%, I make up that loss, right? So it's kind of no-brainer for me to have a few plays like that. You know, let me test. Let me see if I can test stream here again. Okay, well, consistent enough, I suppose. So, I'm pretty sure by now I've definitely answered your question, Zach. The most ideal is 25.5 to 26.5. Least ideal, obviously, is like 15, 16, and then middle of the ground is like 20K, right? That'd be right in front of pi on the weekly, which is about where we hit in the big COVID dump. So that should kind of give you like a scale. You know, we'd have to have some like COVID dump crisis, in my opinion, to get back down towards 19-20K. Oh my gosh. What's that noise? But outside of that, 24, 25, 26, anything in that range is probably about when I'll start shoving a lot of my cash into Ator. Assuming I have free cash. You know, there might be other opportunities I decide eventually I want to take. But for now, the game plan is wait for the BTC dip, shove cash into Ator, and that's pretty much it for me. I mean, I'm really trying to step back. I've said it a few times in the last few months. I want to step back. I want to step back because I can just kind of feel the rug being pulled. So I'm really trying to commit this time. Like, I know you guys are still shouting out like different new plays and stuff, and I think a lot of them look cool. But I'm trying to move towards mainly just focusing on stuff that A, I already have, and B, is real quality, like Unibot, Tigris, MTE potentially. I don't know how this one's going to turn out, to be honest. It's still very early. The devs got to really prove themselves. But, you know, Ator, SmartX, stuff that already had, Tigris, Unibot, they have a working product. It works well. The game plan is really simple and good for these projects. I feel good holding them versus some stuff like, you know, it's like say Dark or PoFi or Saint, OX1, you know, less confident in. Likewise, a lot less exposure. Things go south there, I'm going to lose a lot less than if things go south for the, you know, the higher confidence projects. Right? Oh yeah, exact same game plan for ETH, and I'd argue ETH looks even a bit worse, honestly. Like, at least BTC made a higher high in June versus ETH couldn't do that. It's already making lower highs. You know, so if that trend continues, probably see ETH down at like 1600. That'd be like the 25K level for BTC, and then like under 1400 would be like mega nuke if BTC goes to like 21K. Okay. Still feeling caught. Yeah, still feeling caught. I actually haven't checked. I've been trying to reduce the bajillion tabs I've had up, so I haven't checked it lately, but I'm pretty sure it's just, look at it. This is what it's been doing for weeks on end now. Just massive sideways. The liquidity games are crazy here. You know, you've got 1.5 million Ka on one side and 100K USDT on the other. So this is another one I'm just strictly holding. Either it goes well over the next year or it goes to zero and I lose, you know, whatever 4 or 5% of the account I've got in it. Right? An original entry was only like 2% risk or something. So the OG risk is still very low. I do think we could see under $1 again. That wouldn't really surprise me. But I mean, I just don't want to bet on this. You know, it's just very wonky. I don't know. It could easily just spring up or it could easily just spring down. Right? If it springs down, maybe I'll pick up a little bit more. But for now, I'm pretty comfy just sitting on my hands. I've got good sides on this one. I'm happy with it. Hold on, my cat's doing some shit. Yeah. Damn cat is getting his head stuck in a plastic bag, trying to suffocate himself. Oh my goodness. But yeah, definitely still feeling this. I think they've shown enough development for their game, and their game plan for like their tokenomics and whatnot is good enough that Like they're clearly working very hard in this game. It's just hard to imagine them abandoning it or trying to rug it when it would take so little effort after all this development to just push it really hard. You know? Is it a good time to short API 3? I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's on Binance. Oh, what is that? Weekly candle. Is there some big news event? The good news about shorting this is over the long term, it's been consistently making lower highs. So a good chance a short in here is going to make another lower high, and you're probably going to make some good money on it. We just popped right into the 200 and right into pi on the daily. So I'd say there's a good chance that this tops out here. Yeah. I think it's going to be kind of heavily reliant on BTC rolling over. You know, if BTC pumps to 31K, none of these shorts are going to work out, right? But if you're looking for a hedge on the rest of your portfolio, I mean, this is the bigger picture trend for API 3. So the most ideal level to make a lower high is the 61.8 fib from the last lower high. And it looks like we haven't quite tapped that. 1.75 would be the more ideal level. But moving average wise, this is definitely that level you're looking at a rejection for sure. I think there's a little bit safer shorts in the market. Like I talked on the last couple of streams about Matic, how Matic kind of seemed like it's just been getting crushed. You know, shorting in here, shorting in here and here. And I think stuff that already looks weak is going to be an easier short than stuff that's getting a strong candle right now. But obviously the risk reward will be a fair bit better on that stuff. Oh, what's up, Don? Thanks for tuning in, homie. We've had a bit of a struggle with the stream, having some connection issues, so you didn't really miss too much. We're just talking about how Bitcoin looks like it kind of wants to roll over, and you know, probably good to have some cash on the table right now if you don't. Yeah, people have been asking me TIG versus HMX, but I don't know anything about HMX. I didn't even hear about that project until like the last week. So I don't really know. All I know is that Tigris has a working product. It's a very good working product for how low market cap it is. And to me, that's good enough that I don't really care if it's gonna outperform X or Y or Z, as long as it goes on a good run and outperforms Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you know a lot of the other DeFi assets. Then you know that's good enough for me. But we can definitely look at it. Well, this is hard to compare, right? Because this is brand new in the last 2 days, so it's gonna have this kind of flavor of the month pump. You just kind of have to see where it's at in like, you know, 3 or 4 weeks from now, right? But it's about the same. 12 million fully diluted, 7 million market cap. The liquidity is a lot better, though, I will say. But that also means on the upside, it's going to take a lot more money to pump. So, you know, you win some, you lose some with deeper liquidity for sure. But I don't, as far as fundamentals go, I don't know anything about this. In general, GMX, HMX, like very clearly going for a clone vibe, I think. And I prefer something like Tigris, which is all built from scratch. You know, there's no clone aspect to it. It's just kind of doing its own thing. So, you know, that's all I can say about it. I don't got any money in RVF, no. I paid attention to it a little bit, but I just haven't, you know, I've really been trying to step back on buying new stuff. The only thing I bought recently that was new was OX1, and it kind of went to shit. But I think people have been talking about this. Is Rocket Vault, yeah. People have been talking about this on the streams a lot. I just don't really want to buy after such a sick pump like this on something that I have a hard time determining if there's like long-term value. What I will say is that their product is really nice and it's super like newbie friendly. So I do think that RVF is going to do pretty well. I think it's going to be really easy to get noobs into this. And the chart got giga wrecked, so it just depends on how many people loaded up at the bottom and are going to end up weak-handing this. If there's a bunch of diamond hands, then this is probably good to keep going for a while. But I just it's not for me, right? You know, I could have got it last month at 9 cents. I don't really care to ape it at 40 cents. But it still looks good, and I wish anyone that's in it good luck. It looks like it's going to be doing something like this, I would imagine. But no, I don't have any, and I probably won't be picking any up. I missed a comment too. What do I think of QWN at this level? That's another one I missed out on. I heard that one on a crazy run. Also, guys, you're going to notice sometimes my keyboard gets messed up. Like, I just click W 3 times, and it just types a bajillion of them. I don't know why. I just out of nowhere it'll happen. And it's very annoying, so you have to bear with me on that sometimes. I don't know why it does that. Maybe some of you guys have some insights, keyboard experts out there, but I'll just be typing sentences, and all of a sudden, my keyboard thinks every key is getting pressed like 40 times at once. It drives me freaking insane. This is the last time I looked at QWN, and I felt like I missed or maybe I should have aped some of the lows. Look at this volume coming in, dude. 1.5 million off the lows is crazy. I mean, if it's going to survive, this is probably the time to shoot your shot, right? You broke out of this downtrend here. You retested the breakout point, and now you're making higher lows. So if this one's going to go for it again, this is probably the time to shoot your shot. And then if you start to lose these higher lows, you might just want to get out and reevaluate after, you know, if you start to do this number, I would just get out, reevaluate once you're out of this downtrend again. You shot your shot here. I think this makes sense. This definitely makes a lot more sense than trying to shoot your shot up here, right? At least you're buying around 100 instead of buying like 200, 250, 300 or something. Unironically, this looks like the strong chart. If you guys remember that from 2020, it was at like $350, and then like a week later, it was at like 20. Looks really good on 4 hour. Yeah, I mean, it does look really good on the 4 hour. I'll definitely say that. And $3 million market cap. Come on. Quantum Wealth Network, kind of a good name, kind of a cringe name though. But maybe that doesn't matter. I don't know anything about it or the product, so I can't really give any fundamental analysis on it. But chart-wise, it does look really good. And the liquidity is pretty good too. Thanks for the recap. Yeah, no problem, brother. Po-Fi probably look good next stream. I'm really hoping so. The dev's been hyping up the platform and the releases soon, and the chart is definitely showing that hype. So let's hope that finally this multi-week downtrend is over, and let's hope we can start a new trend with this breakout now. If we start to break lower here, it's going to be looking really bad, especially if it happens when the product releases, if the product releases. But thankfully, you know, obviously this is not going to go for everyone, but Po-Fi for me is an indefinite hold. I will not sell this unless it literally completely rugs, like guaranteed rug. And that's just because me and a lot of the Blockcircle guys that were paying attention at the time, we got in at the ground floor, like in here. So the risk reward, like to lose my initial, it actually has to go to 0. Right, so this is something I can just indefinitely hold. I mean, I'm still up 2,000%. If it goes to 0, I lose. I put in so little. I don't even think I lose a full percent of my account. And if it goes up 10x from here, you know, which with their potential product, I don't think 10x is that outrageous. You know, that'll be almost a 200x. So for me, it's an indefinite hold. I do believe the team is going to be able to pull this off, and I think the chart looks really nice in the last few days. So we'll just have to see, you know, what to see if the team can actually do it. Should we all put together to buy Hunter a new keyboard? I actually ordered a new keyboard a couple of days ago. I'm going to build it myself. I got like the board for it and all the different keys and the keycaps and all that stuff. I'm not going to do the soldering myself. Screw that. But, you know, we're going to do a custom keyboard, and it's going to look pretty sick. I'm pretty excited for it because I've had the same keyboard for years now. I don't know. I upgraded my PC pretty hard a year or two ago, but I never replaced my keyboard because I really like it. Only the last like 6 months, it started doing this thing where I type and like it's probably fixed right now. Let's see here. Yeah, look. See, now I can type completely normally, but then out of nowhere, I'll just be typing the same sentence and it'll look like this. Like, but I'm clicking the same number of keys. Like, I'm clicking them once so lightly just to make sure it's one click. And it just freaks out on me. It's so annoying when I'm trying to type up something in Blockcircle and I have to like baby press each key one by one. It's like I'm in 4th grade again where you type with 2 fingers. I just can't. It drives me insane. It's like one of those little things that just drives me up the wall. X had a good run for me. That's one that I completely missed out on too. I can't even look it up because it doesn't look it up unless you type in like 2 letters. What's the full name of X? Is it XAI? And see, look, there's like a bajillion honeypots too. Though I don't know which one's legit or not. Maybe someone can give me a contract address for X. Yeah, it's just X. But if I type it in on Deck Screener, you have to type in at least like 2 letters for it to start searching. So I don't know. I can't really pull it up easily. Do I use BB? BB. I don't know what that is. To be honest, I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, QWN, kind of a cringe name. I mean, maybe I think the chart looks really good, but the name is definitely kind of cringe. Bollinger Bands. No, I don't really use Bollinger Bands. I think they're a good indicator. I think John Bollinger is a really smart guy, so I think it's a good indicator, but I quite like the indicators I use. I don't really feel the need to add other ones that kind of do the same thing. Like I guarantee you the Bollinger Bands right now look like this, you know, probably something like this. And right now on like the 4 hour, it probably looks like this because we're getting really tight because we've been sideways for so long. I mean, I guess we'll pull them up and see if I'm accurate with that. They might be a little bit wider. I haven't checked the Bollinger Bands yet. Yeah, like they're a little bit higher, but it's about the same idea, right? You can kind of eyeball about where the general range is and everything without having them. But then that's why that makes a good what's the word I'm looking for? A good thesis for why we could pump to like 30, 31 and still roll over, right? Because you just got these Bollinger Bands as overhead. But no, I don't really feel a need for them personally, but I think they're good. Can you look at H&T? Yeah, sure, why not? Ooh, a Solana coin. Oh wow, something on Solana that's actually going up. You do not see that every day. What is this, a little cheeky 2x off the lows? I mean, it's a good looking chart. Whoa, no. I know this is not right. There's no way this is $300 million market cap with 250K liquidity. I know that's not right. Come on, where's the 10 mil lick pool? Is there not one? That's horrible. If that's really the case, that's horrible. Maybe it doesn't matter, but I just don't like projects where like the market cap's $300 million, but you could wipe out $150 million of market cap with like 200 grand. That just doesn't make any. It doesn't make any sense to me. Was billions in the bull? What is this? What is Helium? It's 114 rank. We're about to see something nasty, aren't we? It's probably like $50 or something, right? Come on, let me get the full picture here. Yeah, look at that. Just a complete guess. $50 at the peak. That's so funny. I mean, long-term chart looks pretty good. Right? $1 at the lows. Basically still sitting at the lows. I just hate that the liquidity is so garbage. Like, it's just exactly like I was saying. I hate when there's projects that are hundreds of millions of dollars, but with like 200 grand, you know, not even like 0.1% of the market cap, you could wipe out half the market cap. It just makes no sense to me. So, I don't know. Not something I'll be playing. I also just don't trade on Solana. You know, maybe I'll miss some good pumps there, but not my kind of play. I think it'll probably have a sick pump, you know, since it went from $50 to $1. if it stays around and it's actually a legit project, it'll probably still have a good pump. I think with time you can visualize without using. Yeah, you could definitely visualize Bollinger Bands, and you can get the idea. EMAs kind of do the same thing. Might be better to look on the sex. Yeah, I think I saw on like OKX there was like 30k lick for like 2% depth, and that's just terrible, man. That's just so bad. But that does also mean to pump 2x you only need a couple $100,000. So I mean, you know, it works both ways. I just prefer like look at this. Tigris has 550k lick, double the lick at $7 million market cap. To me, it's just, I mean, I'm not comparing the two fundamentally, but I just think that makes so much more sense. NCDT. Is this gonna be like a D's nuts joke or something? Woo! Damn! Look at that. 2 cents to 20 cents in the last few months. That's pretty nice. I mean, the chart is crazy. What's the spiel here on NCDT? It's just NCD token, that's the name of it. I mean, the chart looks phenomenal. I'm guessing this is not it. Oh, maybe this is it. Nuco Cloud. Damn. Man, look how long you had to accumulate that from 1 to 2 cents. And now it's at 20. Woo! Sheesh. World's first decentralized mesh hyperscaler. Made easy as pie. Oh, we got some pie fans here. Very cool. I'm guessing this is like some really big brain tech or something. They're comparing themselves to AWS and whatnot. I'm sure this comparison chart's extremely biased, but no, I mean that it looks very legit. I will say that it looks like a very legitimate project, and at $5 million market cap, kind of hard to go wrong. I'm just not really here to buy someone else's 10x unless I'm extremely confident in it, so I'd have to do some digging. But I mean, you can't deny the strength here. The market clearly thinks it's valued higher, so you know, if you've taken your initial on this run up, I think you just let it ride for a while. That's how I feel about most legit projects this year. I feel like you can just let them ride in the next year. Yeah, there's going to be moments where you're down like 50%. Like, I mean, look at this. 60%. 40%. Like, you just have to accept, if you were looking for a big banger, the road to 100x is paved by multiple 50 to 80% dumps. So, if you're in it to win it big, you know, maybe you take your initials out and then you just let it ride. And there's gonna be some turbulence, but I mean that looks really good. Octaspace. Am I reading that right? It looks like it's rugged, assuming this is the real one. You investing in any gamble coins like RLB? Yeah, I've got some gamble coins. I have some Bebot that looks pretty garbage that I'm feeling kind of shite about. That looks like that's gonna be a run to zero. I've got some Kakun, which I think looks really good, actually. It's been in some nice, clean accumulation after, a 30x off the lows. I think we're in from, like, back here. So we're sitting up, you know, to, like, maybe, like, 3 or 4x right now. Just kind of chilling, and it's only 700k market cap. So I think there's a lot of room for upside on Kakun. And they've got the big spiel for this is they've got a partnership with, like, a casino licensing firm. So you know, I'm pretty confident that it's going to be really legit. So this is my main exposure to casino coins right now. I think I have one more. Oh yeah, I have some Gamblix too, but Gamblix looks like it's kind of just going to zero, so I'm not really feeling good about that one. But I am feeling good about this one. I got like 2.5% of the account, so if we can get to 10 million on this, I'll make an easy 20-30% on the account. Feeling, you know, really good about this one. I just thank my girlfriend for shutting her stream down because you know, the stream's been better now, right? I am gonna try and make stream reasonably quick today just to make it fair, because I know she really wants to stream. She already told her audience she's streaming, and then she had to cancel. So we'll probably wrap up the public stream shortly here. It's been about 50 minutes, and then we'll get over to the Blockcircle stream. If you guys want to tune into that, you're gonna have to be in Blockcircle, and then we can go through the rest of the coins you guys want to look at. We can look at some of my coins that I got up here, and then hopefully we can get out of here in the next hour. And now that we're going to start doing 2 streams a week, if you guys didn't know, I haven't decided. I think probably 10 a.m. on Wednesdays. And remember, I'm Eastern time. So 10 a.m. on Wednesdays, we'll be doing a second stream. And this one's going to be only Blockcircle. We're not going to do, 2 public streams a week. We'll do 1 public on Sunday, which is this one, for about an hour. Then we'll do a Blockcircle one on Sundays right after it for about an hour, sometimes 2 hours if we have the time. And then Wednesday morning to try and accommodate for people that are living in Asia or even, Europeans and stuff. We'll do one at 10 a.m. Eastern time, which hopefully is a more reasonable time. I figure if we're normally doing stream at 3 p.m., I figure 5 hours before that, if someone's watching this in Asia at 2 a.m., maybe then 9 p.m. is more doable for them. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. So hopefully if we don't have enough time to cover everything you guys wanted today, then we can cover it on Wednesday. And, again, if you're in Blockcircle, you can just send me a message pretty much any time of the day. I'm going to be around to respond and check out what you want me to look at. But, so we'll look at Octa and we'll look at Uzu. And then that's it. We're going to wrap up the public stream. Don't post anymore. Like, oh, please, sir, can you look at this too? No, we're stopping at that. Octa, Uzu, and then we're gonna wrap it up and we're gonna go to Blockcircle stream. Okay. H&T gonna be launching 5G network with T-Mobile. Might get a bag. I mean, yeah, it sounds like the fundamentals are really good. I just can't justify a $300 million market cap for something like that. It's just not the kind of play I'm interested in. It's not that it can't be a banger. I just prefer to scrape things that are lower valuations. Give BG3 review. We can definitely talk a couple minutes about that in the Blockcircle stream. I mean, the game is unbelievable. I can't believe I have slept so little the past 3 days. I mean, my mind, it must be like jello right now. I have not slept this little time. Well, I mean, for crypto I have, but for a video game, I've not slept so little and stayed up so long just to play a video game in ages. Like, normally, 3 to 5 hours of a video game, I'm spent. When I was a kid, I could do 12 hours straight on Call of Duty and stuff like it was nothing. But nowadays, I just either get bored or I'm just like, that's enough. But I had a 20-hour straight session of Baldur's Gate yesterday or 2 days ago. It was crazy, and I was not tired of it. I just had this. I took a nap. I didn't even sleep in it. I took a 2-hour nap. Oh gosh, it is crazy. Hey, what's up, Logan? Thanks for tuning in, homie. We're about to. I'm gonna cover these last 2 coins, and then we're gonna flip over to the Blockcircle stream. But I'm doing great. I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I'm feeling really good about the overall state of the portfolio. So let's go ahead. Let's do Octa. You said it's just Octa. I'm still not finding it. Oh, it's not on Dex Screener? Is it not DeFi? Is this like a centralized exchange coin? On CoinX. This is the only place we can get it? I mean, the chart looks great. No doubting that. The chart looks really good. Yeah, you're welcome, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Chart looks absolutely amazing. I mean, if you scoop some on this puke back in the end of July, I mean, you're sitting really cozy right now. Maybe the game plan is see if you can get something like this again. Back down to the 50s. Cloud computing L1 similar to NCDT and render. Not on Dexter. Yeah, okay. I mean, that sounds pretty good fundamental wise. What's the market cap looking like? Hey, only 15 million. That's not bad. Chart looks good. Only up 3x or so, 4x from the lows. Looks pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Sounds like a legit thing. I mean, I bet the team is a bunch of gigabrains. Oh, look at this guy, Artem Teslenko. You want to fade this guy? I don't. I kind of want to fade Tarek a little bit, but I don't want to fade this guy. Look at him. I mean, I fade his project, he's gonna find me. But anyway, it looks good. It does look good. I will say that. Chart looks great. Maybe getting a little bit toppy here, but it definitely looks good overall. I think you're feeling pretty cozy in that one. And then Uzu. I've had a lot of people talking in the chat about Uzu, and I've assumed I've just missed out, so I haven't even looked at the chart once, so this will be the first time. Uzu research. Yeah, but I say it's probably up only. Woo! It's only 200K market cap? Damn, I should have listened when the... I think that the chat was banging out this one over here and in here somewhere. I should have paid attention. Early. Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels pretty early. What is it? This is the MEV bot that it tries to counter MEV bots or something. I mean, if there's ever a project I stand the use case, this is it. Screw MEV bots. I know they're just trying to get the bag like everybody else. Like, I'm not really hating, because the people that set up MEV bots, especially early on, they're really smart. Like, not only are they, I think they're pretty difficult to make, but just knowing that that was going to be profitable, whoever did that early is like Jared from Subway. I mean, how can you even hate on the guy? I mean, they're just kicking ass, but I fully support projects coming for their life. Like, drain those motherfuckers, drain them dry. I think it's a really cool use case, and I believe they're already profitable, right? Isn't it? It's already working. If so, that's pretty sick. Oh, what's up, Kryptonite? You're just in time. We're about to flip over to the Blockcircle only stream, so if you got time and you want to stick around, then check out the next link that'll be in Discord, and we're about to restart that now. So thank you everyone. That first earnings session coming the 17th. Ooh, that's hype. I bet it's gonna pay well, dude. I mean, this is such a good idea for a project. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, especially you guys that aren't in Blockcircle. We would love to have you, but even if you don't join, I do appreciate that you guys tune into the live stream, and I hope you find it helpful. Sorry I don't have more time. I don't want to be streaming too long because my girlfriend wants to stream, and I gotta give Blockcircle guys the most time possible. So we're gonna wrap things up here, but give me like 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm gonna restart the stream and post a new link in Blockcircle. So I'll see the rest of you guys there that are in Blockcircle, and yeah, that's about it. All the glory to God. Gotta thank boy Jesus for letting me be here and blessing me so much that I could be here having these wonderful streams and all the wonderful people here. Could not do it without you, so thank you, God. Much appreciated. All right. I will see you Blockcircle guys in just a few minutes, and for those of you that are in, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys on Twitter and stuff, I guess. Okay? All right, just give me a few minutes, and I'll start it back up. Peace out.